how to read bass clef, particularly for trombonists with a guy in a back brace.
Come on. Who doesn't like a guy in a back brace, am I right?
Though in all seriousness, before we actually begin this video, a lot has actually happened since my last post, which was the most recent Super Smash Bros. Tournament, which honestly, very happy how that turned out. It was a very fun video, and overall, I just love doing projects like this with my friends. It's been really great. If you want to watch the actual guide instead of get this little tiny bit of catching up from me, just kind of like go somewhere in this little area here-ish. Can't really be sure. But like somewhere down there, there should be like a way to just click the timestamp that will go into the actual guide. Because this is just like a quick update. Well, let's go ahead and start with the main one. I'm in a back brace, which I don't exactly wear every day just for the fun of it. I had a little bit of an accident. I got into a car crash. It was just me. No one else was involved. It also wasn't very bad for me in particular. I was wearing my seatbelt, so I didn't, nothing too bad happened. But yeah, I kind of flipped my car. I might put a picture somewhere in this little area here. And yeah, my car is kind of gone. I turned out a lot better than the car did, I like to think. There's also a couple of other things that happened. My cat Queso, we had him for a couple of months, and yeah, he died. I don't feel like cats should go outside. And I actually had expressed this when we got this cat, because like we've had cats die in the past from this same sort of thing happening. But basically I went into keeping this cat, and I was like, this is gonna be an inside cat, like he's gonna be inside. One night, whenever, the door just happened to get opened, he ran out, and well, I don't want to go into the details because it honestly still makes me feel a little bit bad about it, because I really liked this cat. This cat was a good one, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Really not much else that I can say. Let's go ahead and get into the video. I can't bend over. That's what this back brace does. I can't bend over. We're gonna put this on, so that way I can at least look a little bit cooler than I do in just a plain white shirt and a back brace. But I'm still gonna let you see the back brace, because come on, be honest. Who doesn't like to see a guy in a back brace, am I right? See this fancy thing right here? That's a bass clef. We're gonna have a lot of fun learning about how this thing works. Now, while I'm preparing the next kind of whiteboard example, I want to clarify that this is intended primarily towards a trombone player. Now, that's not to say that you can't learn something here as, a euphonium player, or maybe as a tuba player. I doubt you learn much from this as a tuba player, if I'm being real with you. I mean, I guess technically this applies to anybody that plays bari sax, but you technically don't read it, it just transposes easily. I don't like how that looks. I am just begging to be pushed down a flight of stairs. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Now, as somebody who, has awards for doing this type of stuff, I kind of have to know what I'm doing. Even though I'm just a senior in high school, in a very small school, considering all things realistically, I don't know every single thing that there is to know, but I know enough so that way I can teach people the basics of what this stuff is. So we're gonna start very easy. We're gonna learn about all of the first position notes on the trombone, which I'm pretty sure on every other instrument is just open for what could be taught off of bass clef. So I'm not sure. I don't know how to play euphonium or tuba or anything. I am pretty sure that these are open, but if they're not, then oh well. This note right here, technically. In fact, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this in 3/4 time, which means that this thing right here, it's gonna be separated. That way we know that this is only a technicality. These are the most basic notes of a bass clef. This is all first position stuff, except for this one. And we're gonna go over all of these notes all on their own. So remember this, because I'm about to erase it. All right, so we're gonna start with the most basic note of all time, F natural. F natural is your most basic note in first position. It's not really hard to play. It's
Certainly hope that that's right.
F's always going to be the same unless if they throw what looks to be a hashtag in front of it. Don't really have much to add there. F's just a pretty basic note. It's just F. It's plain old F. So as a trombonist, you're always pretty much going to be playing this note in first position. And pretty much all the other instruments that I talked about that might also have this applied to them are going to have it in a similar way, like open or whatever. I'm going to stop trying to talk about other instrument stuff because I don't have the slightest clue what I might even be remotely talking about. Anyways, boom, that's F. Not a lot to talk about. It's just first position. It's a basic note. It's really nothing. It really isn't. For this one, we actually have to change up the key signature because, you know, usually you're going to have this note be in key signatures that make it this way. At least if you're watching this video because you're probably in high school, junior high, or beginner band. In your music, you will see these things at the start. This is the key signature, but we're going to get into that in a separate video. All that you need to know is that this first B, okay, because it looks like a B, it's a flat, but you're going to say that it looks like a B. And I know that you think it looks like a B. That's not a B. This is a B. That's a B. You know what else is a B? That's also a B. B flat. That's what both of those notes are. I don't know which one they are at the moment. My school doesn't exactly teach music theory. Now, I'm not going to get into how to count notes because that's kind of like the easiest thing in the book. These are clearly quarter notes. It's like it's a set amount of time that it's going to last. These two notes, they're the same note. Actually, I should probably get more into how to read the actual staff itself first. So I'm going to show you how to do your ABCs really quickly. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my TED Talk. So overall, the way that a bass clef staff works is you start in this first space right here where my finger happens to be, and you say your ABCs. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This top line is where it restarts. It goes back to A. And this bottom line is actually the end of the previous line, which would be G. So in order to read anything inside of the standard staff, you're going to go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And that's how you know what your note is. We'll go into ledger lines in a different video. But yeah, basically to read this clef, just start in this space and do your ABCs all the way up to G, and then restart for that top note. That's A. Anyways, I'm out of here. Back to the other guy. Okay, now that that's done, back to how the B flats work. So, okay, now I'm probably going to say something. Okay, I'm not going to be completely accurate with what I'm about to say, so don't go around saying, oh, this is B flat 1 and this is B flat 2, because that's not. Okay, it's not. We're going to call this B flat 1. The smaller the number, the lower that it's going to be on the staff. So we're going to call this B flat 2. Now, the number is basically what octave of B flat it is. So you have B flat 1, which is first position, and it sounds a little bit lower than the other one. It goes ba. This one is B flat 2 in this context, where it is ba. Something like that. So okay, the pitches might not be correct, but the octaves are displayed correctly with that sound. So both of these notes are in first position. You can play this in alternate positionings. This B flat can be played in an alternate position. This one technically can, but most people that are watching this video probably don't need to watch this video to know that. But anyway, those are the B flats. They're also the same as F. They're first position. Okay, so now that you actually know how the numbering system works with music, we're going to go back and look at F again, and then I'm going to explain the fourth note that is only situationally first position. Usually, about half of you watching this, I would assume, are going to be able to actually do this part. Yes, I know, the staff is starting to get kind of ugly. Just ignore it. Just let it be. It's not a big deal. And this is actually accurate numeration, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% sure this is accurate. We have F3 right here. That's F3. This is F2. Now, based on earlier, one would assume that F2 would be in first position. And technically, you're not wrong. However, there's a small Whoa. Now, most trombones are keyed in B flat, meaning this F can't be played on just the instrument itself. You have to have a trigger trombone or a bass trombone in order to play this note in first position, because you have to do it trigger one. So with that, that's all of the most basic first position notes that you'll need to know for the coming time that you're going to be looking at music as a trombone player. Yeah. And I'm probably very wrong, but 4-valve euphoniums, I believe, can play at 4th valve, I think. That one right there. Editor me, check this, and make fun of me if I'm wrong. I want you to make fun of me if it's wrong. Now, disclaimer before we actually continue. I want to kind of make it clear that I am not a band teacher. I'm not actually qualified for any of this, so, you know, feel free to double check literally anything that I say, okay? Also, you should just keep a fingering chart on you at all times, honestly, because that will be really beneficial for you. In fact, the way that I actually learned wasn't even by knowing what the notes were actually called, just by using a positioning chart and using the numbers and writing them into my music, so that way I could just copy the numbers. Now, obviously, I don't want you to just do that and not actually learn the notes. You should learn the notes. Learning the notes is good. Like, you should learn key signatures, you should learn stuff like that, because it's all very important for you the further you go into it. Just knowing the numbers isn't always going to work, because, you know, if you lose your fingering chart, you're kind of cooked. Especially with a lot of schools banning phones, which is a whole can of worms that we're not getting into in this channel, let me assure you. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to get into the most common mistake that I see amongst trombone players that are in the stage that they would probably be in when watching this video. And while technically this isn't the most helpful in this video, it's kind of like a starting point for how to read key signature, because key signature is very important. And this is actually a very big mistake that is made because of not knowing how to read key signature, and that's okay. Key signature can be hard, especially for somebody who wasn't properly taught how to do it, even though you should look for yourself, honestly. You should do it. You should do stuff on your own, but never fear, I am here. Because let's be honest, say it with me, who doesn't want to learn this stuff from a guy in a back bracer, am I right? Now, based on what we've learned, based on what you know, what is this note? That's right, it's E. And this note over here, based on what you know, is an A. Now, both of these notes are normally played in second position. It's not very far away from you, except a lot of times people usually get taught the flat variation of these notes first, and so they're used to seeing these notes and thinking, that must be third position. And then they'll play it third, and then they'll wonder why their band director is screaming at them about why they would get something so simple wrong. The fact of the matter is that it's a flat version of the original note. It's not third position, it's actually second position. It's a massive mistake. I know we'll get more into it on key signature, but basically, if you see two of the B's in the key signature, so one of these B's right here, if you see two of them, that means you're playing E flat, which will be in third position, and you will be playing A natural right here. To clarify, I was pointing at this one. That note is going to be in second position, okay? And originally, you know, people get taught just the third position one, and then they're taught the second position one, but they get that confused because whenever they're taught it, they're pretty young for the most part. You know, they're at the point where anything gets taught to them, and they'll think it's, you know, kind of the correct way to do it. But ultimately, there's two different ways to play what might look like it's the exact same note. Actually, technically, there's three. We'll get it. We'll get into it. Okay. We will get it. We will get it. It's okay. It's okay. We will get it. We will get it. But ultimately, all that you need to know is that without a B, which is a flat, we're going to call this flats now because you know that that's a flat now. Without a flat, the note E is second position on a trombone, and the note E flat is third position on the trombone. And the same with A natural, which is second on the trombone, and A flat, which is third on the trombone. So we learned that these B's at the start of your music actually do mean something and that you need to actually learn them. So we learned that that's an important thing. We learned all of our first position notes being F, B flat, B flat, and this lower F with trigger. We're going to call the trigger T for short. With T, that note is also first position. So yes, we learned our first position notes. Oh my gosh, wow. The higher you go up, the higher the note. The lower you go, the lower the note. Oh my gosh, we learn something new every second, don't we? All very simple stuff, all of which that hopefully do help anybody watching this video. I'm thinking I'm going to make this a series, so everybody, please like and subscribe for more. If this video does good, I probably will make a part 2. If it doesn't do good, I'm probably still going to make a part 2 because I do want to get back into making content on the YouTube. So that is learning how to read bass clef with a guy in a back brace. Come on, come on. You know you like learning from a guy in a back brace. Let's be real.